Hello, this is a video walkthrough of the LINC Panoray screens for Nautique boats. This particular boat we're in right now is a GS24, but most of the content on this screen is the same throughout the Super Air Nautique line, whether it be a G, GS, 210, 230. The screen is essentially broken up into three separate sections. Here on the left, we have a lot of the vitals here in the middle. And on the right-hand side, we will have our awareness camera, as well as engine vitals, and our switchboard. We'll come back to the right-hand side here in a minute. On your home screen here, we essentially have two screens in one. Our main screen and then our status screen that is controlled by touching the bottom of the screen. On our main screen, we'll have our NSS settings, our plane assist, which is going to help the boat plane off quicker by using the NCRS. I typically keep that on high. The only reason why you would want to take that off high is if you wanted to keep the bow up on a windy day. NCRS settings, once you get to your set speed for wakeboarding or wake surfing, you can adjust this NCRS to go from a steeper wake, which would be 5, down to a more mellow wake, which is 0, or anywhere in between. The surf side is going to be dictated by selecting on the bottom here. So we have a port side surf wave for a regular rider and a starboard side surf wave for a goofy rider. Going over to status, we can go through and check out our ballast as well as our lights, what lights are on in the boat, and then climate, which heaters are on in the boat. You can't change anything from this screen. This is just an overview screen. Going back to our main screen, I want to show you something here real quick. If you were to adjust your cruise control out of the speed parameters of the NSS, you'll see NSS is going to disappear. So that's only going to pop up until 13 miles an hour. Over 13 miles an hour, it'll shut off the NSS system. Our screens are accessed through going through this dial here. So we have our home. Next one down is audio. So again, at the bottom, we have our 4 different screens to select here. So main, this is going to be play, select track, select source. For Bluetooth, what you would want to do is select Bluetooth, hit Bluetooth menu, and hit enter pairing mode. And you will see it show up on your phone as MM100S. Newer boats will have the zone control. You can go through and select what parts of the boat you want to have the audio coming out of. So if you're out at night, you can do things like shut your tower speakers off. And then audio setup, this is where you control bass, treble, balance. Auto volume, that's a pretty cool feature to have. When that is on, as you advance the throttle and the engine and wind noise becomes louder, it'll adjust the audio volume. Next one down is GoPro connectivity. Again, 3 different screens, all selected at the bottom here. So you can go to settings and adapt your GoPro to the screen here. It's pretty neat because you can do things like GoPro auto record. So when you turn that on, once you get to your set speed, it'll talk with your GoPro and start recording automatically. You can then go to gallery and go through different videos you have saved on the screen here. Not every GoPro is compatible with this. There's a list that can be provided to you of compatible GoPros. Next down is your ballast. So again, we have 3 different screens here: manual, set level, and overhead. Your manual screen, this is good to check and see where your tanks are at. I don't really recommend filling or draining your tanks with this manual screen, just because when the tank gets full or empty, it takes the boat longer to recognize that and your pumps will run dry. You can go to set level and select a level that you want the tanks to be filled to and hit go to select set levels. This works better than manual. Overhead is something that is a neat feature as well. It's going to give you a readout of each tank. We have belly in the bow, starboard and port, and how many pounds is in each tank, as well as a total pound readout. Ballast shift is also located on the screen here as well. So if you have somebody sitting on the port side of the boat that is offsetting the weight of the boat, you can adjust ballast to the starboard side to offset the weight of that person and level out the boat. So again, manual, set level, and overhead. Next down, we have our switches. This boat is equipped with interior courtesy lights, overhead lights on the tower speakers, and docking lights. Switching from lights to climate, this boat has a heater, so we can turn the heater on here. If the boat was also equipped with seat heaters, the driver's seat heater would be located here as well. Features is very helpful. If you forget where something is on the boat, you can come to features and it will highlight on the boat where everything is. Like here you can see where the 3 locations for the 12 volts are. Auxiliary inputs, USBs, batteries, drain plug, bilge pumps, back to 12 volt. This screen here is my favorite and probably the most helpful, especially to a new boat owner, new Nautique owner. This is the user profiles. So Nautique has taken the time to figure out what each boat needs for speed and ballast levels, as well as NCRS and NSS settings for what you're looking to do. So in the boat automatically, we have a back to dock setting, which is like hitting a reset button. We have a wakeboard pro, wakeboard intermediate, wakeboard novice, wake skate, wake surf, and then slalom ski will be on the GSs as well. To activate, hit your whatever profile you're looking to do and hit activate. You can also edit or delete everything. This is a 2-step process, so once you have selected what profile you would like, you also have to go to cruise control and turn that on as well. So select your profile and make sure cruise control is on. You can see that cruise control is on here, or it will say, not say cruise off underneath the speed. The other cool thing about this is the intuitiveness. You can hit new user, go through, enter in your name, edit your icon, adjust the ballast levels to the way that you like them, adjust your speed, your NCRS settings, and your NSS settings, and what side you like to surf on. If you hit save changes, this will now add your profile to the screen. That way you're going to get a pull every time that is the same as the last time. Next one down is your settings. So if you're on a river, you can turn river mode on. This is in second place to turn the auto volume on. Speed buzzer, once you get to your set speed, the screen will beep at you to let you know that the cruise control is taken over. If you don't like that, you can shut it off. You can have a depth alarm and then set whatever depth you would like that alarm to sound at. Display, when you go out at night and you turn on your navigation lights, the screen will automatically dim itself. But if you want to dim it during the day, you can do that manually there. You can change your units from English to metric, the time zone for the clock, whether or not you're using daylight savings time, and go from a 12-hour time period to military 24-hour time period. System, power diagnostics and engine diagnostics. These are really the only 2 things in this screen that a user would need. Everything else is pretty much for as a service standpoint. Power diagnostics. This is going to let you know anything on the boat. It's kind of like a circuit board. So if something happens, like your blower stopped working, you could come here and you could go to blower. If there was a fault, it would read fault in red, and what you would need to do is just use the arrows to go down to that and then hit reset fault. Engine diagnostics, same thing. If there was an issue with the engine, something would pop up on the screen that said engine fault, and you can come here and check to see what that fault is. It'll also rate it in the warning, whether it's a low, medium, or high priority engine fault. So if it's low, nothing really to worry about. Just get it checked out next time the boat's in the shop. Medium, it's going to require some service sooner than later. And then high priority, you're going to want to shut the engine down. So in the middle part of the screen here, this is built to mimic our helm command control. So the same shortcuts that are on here are also on here. We have a shortcut for our audio volume, our profiles that are most commonly used, our cruise control, and a way to turn that on or off. This is a page over button, so instead of hitting the pages at the bottom here, you can hit this, or again, you can hit this, and it will change what screen you are on. And then the home here will always bring you back to the home screen. Our speed will always be highlighted right here in the middle in big bold letters. What our cruise control is set for is right here, and if the cruise control system is off, it'll read that right here. Our fuel is in a percentage right here, and then our depth is at the bottom. On the right-hand side, we have engine vitals, so engine temp, oil pressure, battery voltage. This is going to be engine RPMs, and another place to turn the cruise control system on or off. We'll also have air and water temp readouts right here as well. Up at the top, we're going to have a place to turn audio volume up or down. Switchboard. This is a pretty unique feature. All the things we just went through on the left-hand side of the screen here, the things that you find that you use most often, you can assign to the switchboard over here, so you don't have to go looking for them on the big left-hand part of the screen. So something that's really nice to have here is ballast shift. So if you are running down the lake crooked, you can adjust it. And then awareness camera. The awareness camera will come on automatically from 7 miles an hour down to neutral. If you're over 7 miles an hour and it shuts off and you want it on, you can turn it on there. Up at the top of the screen here on the left-hand side, you're going to have other readouts. You can hit them to change them. So we have engine temp, oil PSI, battery voltage, engine hours, and RPM. Our button pad down below. So without keys in a Nautique, we're going to use a start and stop system. And if you want to, you can set a security. So when you get in the boat, you would enter in your security code, hit start, you'll get one blue light on, hit start a second time, second blue light will come on, and whenever there are two blue lights on, next time you hit start, you will start the engine. Opposite sequence for shutdown. The engine was running, you would hit stop once. I will shut one blue light off, stop a second time, and then you would enter your code in and hit stop a third time to stop the engine completely. Other than that, this is where your blower, navigation lights, your bilge pump, and horn buttons are located. Your helm command is going to have 3 separate ways to control it. Rotate, click left, click right, and then push down to select.